Friends, today I'm going to introduce this software to all of you, which is a very valuable piece of software, which when put to use will give you results very fastly, quickly, with accurately, and the calculations are very easy as they are already put into the formula. We shall follow this chart which I have already introduced in the video, which is named B1 BNN chart, which is read without the help of dasa. Just with the help of the progressions, the chart has been read. And now we shall see the modus operandi of the progressions involved, the major progressions where Jupiter is involved and Saturn is also involved, manifesting the events in the life of the native. As you can see, I have placed Jupiter here in the natal chart at 4 degrees 54 minutes. This goes on to say that the native has already is born after the Jupiter has crossed 0 to 454 of the Capricorn Rasi. So already 4 degrees 54 minutes, which goes on to say that the native, here in the calculation we take this point at which Jupiter is at 4.54 as his 0 age. That is the time at which he is born actually. And already this part of the Rasi has been foregone, which goes on to say that for 4 degrees 54 minutes, for every 2.5 degree, 1 year time has lapsed. Let us take it as 5 degrees. If we take this as 5 degrees, it comes to 2 years time. For 5 degrees, Jupiter has navigated 2 years in this Rasi, because it will take from 0 to 0, Jupiter will take 12 years time. Understand? For 30 degrees in the Rasi, Jupiter will take 12 years time. So for this 5 degrees which has lapsed before his birth, we shall take it as 5 years. And working out the very nitty-gritty of this case, which we have to go into the degrees, minutes and seconds of this Jupiter placement, we get that already the native is born after 1 year 11 days 11 months and 16 days after Jupiter has come into this Rasi. It goes on to say that. And once native has approached here, the time taken to progress from this point to 0 degrees of the Aquarius. The wall of Aquarius starts here, right? 0 degrees Aquarius. So the time taken for Jupiter to navigate from 0 degrees, 0 years to this 0 degrees of Aquarius sign is 10 years, 0 months, 14 days, right? That is, age of the native at this point of time is 10 years, 0 degrees, 0 months, 14 days. The age here, this is the age. And from 0 to 0 of the next wall, the 0 degrees of Pisces, the native will travel another 12 years. So add 12 years to 10 years, 0, 14, we get 12 to this, we get 22 years, 0 degrees, 14 minutes, right? And from this point, from this wall to the next wall of Aries, 0 degrees of Aries, then add 12 years to 22 comes to 34. And 34 add 12 comes to 46. And 12 so on will be 58, 0, 14 days, which we have already seen in the video. And this is at this wall of Gemini, 0 degrees Gemini. The native age will be 58 years, 0 months, 14 days. I think all of you have got the point. Similar will be the case for Saturn here. It is at 0.32, and 0.32 is hardly a very few days for the 30-year journey. So here you can see it is only 6 months passed, and the rest of the period it is 30 years to go in this same Rasi. 30 years here, 30 years here, 30 years. And less this 0.34, we will get 29 years, 5 months, 18 days to navigate from this point, from this 0.32 point to 0.32 of the next Rasi. Understand? But up to 0 it is 29 5 months 18 days. From 0 29 years 0 degrees of Aquarius, the native reaches the age of 29 years 5 months 18 days, and from there the next 30 degrees will be 59 years 5 months 18 days. Another 30 years get added, and from here to this wall, when the native progresses in life, that will be 89 years 5 months. So once 3 rasis are navigated, we have been told that 90 years will be passing for the native. Now we shall implement the progressions in this chart, applying those values here. Understand? Now you shall see the live demo of application of this chart. The native pertaining to this D1 is born on 16th August 1961, and let us change the date here. Just all we need to do is go to this cell, and here we get the date, remove the date and place here 16-08-1961. Once that is done with, the longitude comes to 0. Now you have to pick the Rasi in which the natal Jupiter is placed. ఫస్ట్ నేను డేట్ ఆఫ్ బర్త్ ఎలా కొట్టాలో చూపించాను. నెక్స్ట్ మీ తాలూకా జూపిటరు ఎక్కడ ఉందో ఇక్కడ మీరు ఈ డ్రాప్ డౌన్ బాక్స్ పక్కకు వచ్చి అది సాజిటేరియస్లో ఉంది అనే విషయం, క్యాప్రికాన్లో ఉంది అనే విషయం మనం ఇక్కడ మార్క్ చేసుకుంటాం. The Jupiter is in the D1, the Jupiter is in 10th Rasi, and that we have to select in the respective fields. And once that is marked, then we go into the degrees of Jupiter. Here we enter the degrees. The degrees of Jupiter is 04 degrees, and you can use the drop down or directly enter the values. Here it is 54 minutes and 12 seconds. You can see it is 10 years 0 minutes 14 days left to complete the Capricorn Rasi. Jupiter has to travel this much time. The time travel for Jupiter is this, and the degrees travel for Jupiter will be 30 minus this degree, which comes to about 25 degrees 06 minutes 05 minutes and 48 seconds. This is the balance period that the Jupiter has to navigate in the Rasi of the 10th Rasi in the natal chart. And this is exactly what we have decided here. It is 10 years 0 months 14 days left for Jupiter to crisscross from 4 degrees 54 of Capricorn to 0 degrees of Aquarius here. Once this date has been arrived, which comes to 30th August of 1971, from there onwards, every 12 years, Jupiter will reach the 0 degrees of the next Rasi, and hence we have here written down it is 22 years 0 months 14 days, which is 22 years 0 months 14 days, and Jupiter approaching the wall of Aries at 0 degrees is posited at 34 years 0 months 14 days, which is again 34 years 0 months 4. So this is how the manual calculation here will match exactly the software calculation. There is this kind of agreement between the software and the manual calculation, and whatever degree I put here, the balance of years for Jupiter to be navigated will come out here, and from there onwards every 12 years will be navigated. This will be taken up in the first line, whatever comes here. If I put, you can see, if I put 15 here, 15 4 12, then it will come 5 years left to complete. That is Jupiter is to 15, Jupiter will be 15 here, and to complete this balance of this Rasi, another 5 years 7 months will be required. I think the position is clear with respect to this explanation. This is what constitutes the major progression of Jupiter. And once this is done, then we go into the minor progression of Jupiter. Here we have caught the ending part of the degrees in the software we have arrived for the 0 degrees for this major part, whereas for this minor part we have not done that exercise. We have simply took Jupiter wherever it is posted here, 454 to 454 of this point. We have picked up that points, that is right from the date of birth of the person to the next year. We have taken exactly 12 years, that is this point to this point for the minor progression part. Exactly every 12 years Jupiter will come to the same degrees in the particular rasis. This is the minor progression part. Once we key in the date of birth in the main Jupiter part, the same will be taken by the software in the Saturn. We need not again put the date of birth in the Saturn one. See, whatever the orange one that machine will take, and the blue ones are only operable by the operator, that is the person who is handling the software. So here Saturn is in Capricorn, and which we have to again key in. Here we will pick the from the drop down box we can pick Capricorn for Saturn. Once that is picked, we have to navigate the degrees. Saturn is at 0 degrees 34 minutes in the chart, so we shall key in 34 minutes here. Once that is done, we have remaining degrees to go in the Rasi. Just like Jupiter, Saturn is at 0.32 degrees here. To reach 0.32 degrees it takes 30 years, understand? Throughout the Capricorn it will travel and arrive at 0.32 of Aquarius, and by that time 30 years of time will be navigated, time travel for Saturn. But since it is at 0.32, it is the 29 years 5 months 18 days for Saturn, remaining period to navigate in the Rasi. And that is exactly what has come up here also, and from there onwards we have taken 30 years. And this software is developed by Rajendra sir, who has worked with me to give this output, which is a brilliant effort from his part. And there was lot of brainstorming to come to this conclusion and get this software on track. And once this is here, 29 degrees 5 days, that is the time required for Saturn to reach the wall of the Aquarius, and from there again every 30 years it will navigate into the next Rasi. And as we can see here, this is the 16/8/1961 part. Okay, and every 2.5 years Saturn will change the signs every 2.5 years, because this is minor progression part. And we can also arrive at a particular year where we want to see the particular location of the Rasi of minor Saturn, where minor Saturn is posted. This is all hypothetical. There is nothing that relates to the condition of the planets in the sky. This is purely a hypothetical situation. Progressions do give accurate results, as we have seen. We have already seen the charts and their manifestation of results through the degrees of the planets of major and minor progressions as well. The most wonderful part of this entire software is about to be introduced to you now. See, at 58 degrees 0 months 14 days, the native has approached 0 degrees of Gemini. So let us, here we have given another calculator. This is most useful part of the entire software, wherein a person right now, when I give here 58 years, at exactly this period we can see that the minor, which is underneath the major Jupiter, we can see from here also. This is the ending 5 years on this date, 5th April 2015. Taurus has been completed. The journey of Jupiter through Taurus has been completed. Taurus ended on 38th August. Sorry, that was an error previously. The degrees somehow here the degrees somehow got changed, and so I restored them. And in the Taurus journey of Jupiter has completed on 30th August 2009, which is in total agreement with the manual calculation. And once the Jupiter planet enters Gemini, this is Gemini, yes, last time. Gemini, we can see here at 58 years 14 days, it is just 29:59, another 0.03 degrees, then Jupiter will enter Gemini 0 degrees. Exactly, the software is matching. Because of this, here we have taken 365 days. If it is 360, it would have come into Gemini, because Rasi Chakra is basically 360, but the number of days are 365. And if I replace it with 360, we can see that 002, and it has completed Taurus and entered Gemini. That we can match from here itself. Taurus has completed on this date and it has entered Gemini. This needs to be, there is a little bit there is a little bit fixing that need to be changed, that this Rasi also needs to change, but rest of the software is working and perfectly well, and the degree calculation is also perfect, and all we need to do is take 360 here in the days in the year to get the exact progression of 360 matching 360. That is Rasi degrees matching the time travel. Space is equal to time is what has been considered here. And similarly here also in the Saturn part, we can see that once we key in the number of days, years and months and degrees of days of the native, automatically this will take, the software will grasp the data from this point, and it will place and give the calculation. And here Aquarius, Saturn is placed at 28 degrees 36, which is ending point. We can see that here Saturn has started moving from the birth degrees to here, and here it has come to this point of time at the time of 58 years 0 degrees. So this is how we use this software. On the date of marriage, the person age, on the date, any particular date, if we key in the number of years and months and dates here, automatically the software will pick this. And this is another software where you can just give the date of birth continuously for that person, and here you can give the dates of events, and this software will deliver the year, the month and the number of days, and it will put up a summation here, and this data acts as the raw material or input data for that chart which I have just shown you, the Excel sheet. This Excel sheet is a corollary or the precursor for that chart, and here we will get the degrees, minutes and days conversion for this part, for these three parts here, and then we can also get the total days and the months and so on and so forth. So I will also share this Excel sheet, and taking this data into this part will give you the exact relation and also the results which you are expecting, and place this data into this part of the calculator, and you will get the exact degrees where the Jupiter is. And once you see the exact degrees and the Rasi of Jupiter, there you will find the other planets eagerly waiting to fructify the events which we are discussing herein, which is this is the events chart, and this is the actual degrees of the major and minor and also the further rounds of Jupiter, which are even more micro rounds, which is here we have taken 12 years for one Rasi, here we have taken 1 year for one Rasi, and here you can write the marriage, kid 1, kid 2 and the job and the own house and all these things. You can write down the events in a jot down, and you can see here it is 12 years for the major round, that is 30 degrees of Jupiter will go through 12 years, which we have just seen now. And then we have also seen the minor round, which is for 12 Jupiter will take 1 year to navigate the entire chart, entire 360 degrees, and and here the Jupiter will take 1 month here, micro chart, and here Jupiter will take nano, which is 2.5 days or 60 hours. Here also there will be predictions which will follow, further videos will follow with respect to these two things. But once you should get the hands-on experience of this software, then you will really enjoy and also come to very close and accurate predictions in your life, which will be a total satisfaction, which you have greatly I have put to great use in my previous 5 to 6 videos, and I have also put them on display. Without this chart, it would not have been possible to navigate across the Amsha charts of 1, 2, 10, 9 and D24, D30 also. We can go across the board and get a feel of the planets and the degrees, and we have seen that the degrees, the major degrees of Jupiter as well as Saturn are meeting the degrees of Navamsha chart for marriage. D10 chart for these major degrees of Jupiter and Saturn are meeting the particular lord in the D10 chart for job, and D7 chart for kids, and so on and so forth. And these are being very lucidly and clearly manifesting, are shown to be manifesting in the charts that have been explained previously in the previous 5 to 6 videos that I have presented on YouTube. And do follow and also apply this logic to, and also I will share this particular Excel sheets, these 2 Excel sheets for further use, which may be put to use. I also need to give you a introduction to a very small component of using this particular Excel sheet. This will work only in Microsoft Excel or LibreWriter, but it will not work on mobile or tablet, because there are embedded macros in the entire software which need to run only on a laptop or a PC. Hence this software can be used appropriately, and it cannot be used on a mobile or a Android. You can see the file will show here that it is a macro enabled file, and Rajendra sir has sent me this file just today, and once I save the file, it will be downloaded into my computer. I have renamed the file to my choice, and then I saved it on the desktop. Once the file is on the desktop, all I need to do is right click on the mouse and go into the properties of the file, and I have to right click here on the file and go to the properties of the file, and there I have to unblock. This is the point. It is under general options. I have to unblock so that the formula starts functioning, because generally virus is introduced through these macros, but since this is a genuine file from our own research team of Rajendra sir, we can easily unblock this option, and we should mark apply on the file and then say OK, and then you can open the file. Once the file is opened, here you have to also activate enable content. Then the file is ready for work. These are the steps you have to follow. Unless and until you do that, the file will not work to your satisfaction. And again, here you have to change, not in the Saturn part, in the Jupiter part. All the blues are here for editing. This one is for editing, this one is for editing, this one is for editing. Whereas these components, these parts cannot be changed. They are fixed. They run according to the code given behind in the macro format, in the macros by Rajendra sir. Hope you have enjoyed the session, and also do use the file so that you will be very much satisfied, and also you will find it very, very useful in arriving at proper and pure and accurate results being offered by the Mahadasha lords, and also the house lords, and also the Karakas. Karakas get triggered by the major progressions of Jupiter, which you will be very prominently noticing by the approach of the degrees within an arc of 0 to 4 degrees, and you will be stunned to see the accurate results that follow, which I have already shown you on certain charts, the previous 4 or 6 to 7 videos. And now I shall also go on to explore and also explain to all of you regarding the other part of our predictions, which is going to be daily predictions holding on to the nano part of Jupiter, and monthly predictions alongside the micro part of Jupiter. As we have seen, the major prediction for the whole lifetime within the first 6 rasis from natal Jupiter posit, and from the first 3 rasis of natal Saturn posit for the major Saturn progressions. Hope you enjoy the sessions.